Welcome to Her Weekly Fix. I'm Dr. Laura Pipher, Naturopathic Doctor, and every week I'm here to give you a quick, no fluff dose of the latest health insights, science backed tips, and real world solutions to help you feel your best. Whether it's tackling hormonal chaos, digestive struggles, or low energy, we'll break it all down in 10 minutes or less. Let's get into this week's fix. Have you ever had a moment when you're doing everything right? You've cleaned up your diet, you started moving your body, prioritizing your sleep, and yet your symptoms still feel out of sync. Maybe it's mood. Maybe you're waking up with the night sweats at 2 a.m. Or maybe intimacy feels a little bit different lately and no one warned you. Here's something most people don't talk about when it comes to hormones. It actually might be your gut. I want to talk about a few things when it comes to gut health, but I think one of the biggest take home points is when I talk to patients, they come to see me and they're like, my hormones are all over the place. I think we need to test my hormones. And then we get into chatting and we realize that their gut is also a mess. And not many of my patients realize that your gut health is really dependent on your hormone health and vice versa. And so while we know that going through perimenopause, for example, actually changes your microbiome, we know estrogen, one of the roles of estrogen is actually maintaining the microbiome, maintaining the diversity in your gut and lack of diversity in the vagina. This is why, or one of the reasons why, when estrogen gets depleted during perimenopause and into menopause, we have symptoms like vaginal dryness, pain with intercourse, etc., because estrogen is responsible for maintaining the lactobacillus that's supposed to be there. And so in the gut, we have a recycling system. I always talk to patients about how hormones grow through the gut and through the liver. And when we are processing hormones, part of the way we do that is by using what's called the estrobolome. So the estrobolome is basically the microbiome in your gut that helps regulate estrogen. And so the way it works is when we're looking at whether we keep hormones and kind of use them again, or if we actually get rid of them, we process in these two compartments. So when hormones go through the gut, our body has to decide, is this important enough to keep or should we dump it? And that's really a regulatory mechanism. It's a protective mechanism because if we were to, let's say, every time hormones are processed through, dump them, we would be like in swings all the time. This is one of the reasons why I explain to patients when we're looking at the thyroid hormone, for example. When we want thyroid hormones, we make them and then we have to convert them to inactive to active, and then we use the active because if we just spit out active hormone all at once, we would be in trouble. So, the estrobolome is not just about how much estrogen you make, but how your body uses it. So, when your gut's imbalanced, think bloating, irregular bowel movements, frequent food sensitivities, your estrogen recycling system can slow down. And this can actually result in your estrogen not being cleared properly. One of the things that fiber does is it actually clears your estrogen. It scrapes all that excess hormone and all that excess, toxin, for lack of a better term, and gets rid of it. Now, if our estrogen is not cleared properly or recirculated in the wrong amounts, this can lead to things like period problems, heavier periods, mood swings, hot flashes, and even vaginal dryness. And what's interesting is we actually have recent research that kind of corroborates this story. So it was a 2025 meta analysis. They pooled 39 studies on probiotics and menopausal symptoms. They found that there were significant improvements in symptoms like hot flashes, low mood, and vaginal dryness. And the reason for that does tie back to the estrobolome. When your gut is properly supported through food, lifestyle, or targeted supplementation, your body becomes more responsive to estrogen. Not necessarily because you're adding more, but because you're using it better. And if you've been chasing hormone solutions and you're not seeing the changes you'd hope for, it's worth asking, how's your digestion? Because sometimes when we clear up the digestion, we fix the root cause or some of the root causes for the hormonal imbalances. It's important to understand that your hormones don't operate in a vacuum. Constipation, bloating, recurrent yeast infections, or just feeling off after eating can all be signs that your gut isn't doing the job in a hormone balancing partnership. And until we support that system, we're always going to be working uphill. Supporting your gut isn't about avoiding bloating, but it's about actually changing the way your body responds to, metabolizes, activates, and recycles estrogen, whether it's through probiotics, fiber-rich foods, or for more complex cases, targeted gut support. This step lays the groundwork for lasting hormonal relief, and this is how we actually get to the root cause. So that's this week's fix. And if you have questions, please reply to this email. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week.